Hello, dear creative people. In this video, we're gonna talk about specifically Japanese art supplies. Am I talking about Holbein acrylic gouache? No. Am I talking about Turner acrylic gouache? Yes, guys. I asked you in a survey what did you want to see from the Japanese art supplies I brought from Japan. Between these liquid graphite from Kuretake, maybe I show you in the next video, or this ink, Japanese olive ink. That's also something I want to try. This is something I want to test, but not this time, and not even this Tombow package I just received from the brand Tombow, full of goodies. I'm gonna show you maybe in another video. This time we're gonna talk about gouache, and not the standard gouache like this one, which I personally enjoy a lot painting with. I use it to paint Pedro Pascal from The Last of Us, and the colors are all so good. No, this time we are gonna review acrylic gouache, but not the Holbein one. I have this set of primaries which I used only in this painting, which I don't like honestly. And this one is Turner, and I bought it mainly because of the packaging. It's so good. It's illustrated by a mangaka, and there is also another version, a horizontal one. I painted this, which I haven't liked as well. But today with you, I'm gonna give you a second try to these paints and discover if I really have a problem with acrylic in general or not. Because with marker as well, I was not that impressed in terms of acrylic markers. But look at this packaging, it's like stunning. It's the best packaging I've ever seen on an art supply. I love it, and I put it as well in an exhibition in my room. It's illustrated by Yusuke Nakamura. You see here the dépliant with the description all in Japanese about how to use it. In terms of sketchbook, I'm going to use again this mixed media sketchbook by Ohuhu. I already use it with acrylic gouache, with ink, with markers, of course, with gouache paint, standard one, and with acrylic marker. You see me here. This is a self-portrait, and again, our Last of Us actor. I personally like this paper with everything. Of course, it's not suitable for watercolor in general, but for all the rest is my favorite mixed media paper so far. So I think I need to go on a safe mode with paper if I want to try really to make something decent out of acrylic gouache. I'm not a fan. For this video, I'm gonna choose a slightly easier subject, not a portrait, but a cat maybe. This mechanical pencil from Tombow is perfect for sketching. Something I enjoyed about gouache and acrylic gouache painting is that I can go with bold marks with pencil. I don't have to care too much about the marks on the paper. I can even not erase it, because in the end I'm gonna cover it completely with my paint. This is something I like, because in watercolor you have to practically erase your drawing, and this makes it even much more difficult for me to film it for a specific video. So here you can see my marks. Indeed, I'm sketching 3 cats, 3 references I found on Pinterest, funny ones, and now I'm gonna actually erase it a bit, so it's gonna be easier later on to let them show through. And in terms of brushes, I'm gonna use this beautiful Simply Majestic brushes, transparent. I bought in the Holbein showroom in Osaka. They are just gorgeous. This porcelain palette from Midin, and as well as this water container. But now let's speak briefly about the paint themselves. Turner acrylic gouache is the cheaper alternative to Holbein. They come from Osaka as well. You can find them pretty much in every Japanese store. By the way, if you missed my Japanese art stores videos, part 1 and 2, you should actually watch it. It's gonna be your ultimate guide to Japanese art store if you plan to go there in the future. The tubes are 11mm paint tubes. So you see me squeezing the brown tube actually on a little bit of water, and this is gonna be helpful later on, because it's gonna be the only paint that is not gonna dry in no time. This is something I noticed in this paint, but in general with acrylic paint, they dry sometimes really fast, and this one it takes maybe 5 minutes to dry. For me, that I'm used to watercolor and standard gouache, this is a big issue with acrylic gouache. It's something I really dislike, to have all this waste in palette. So I'm asking to all artists out there that fall in love with acrylic gouache and are talking about Holbein and so on, how do you fall in love with such medium? Because for me, it's such a big disadvantage to have this waste in palette and to have this immediately drying medium, which is not possible to blend, and it's just not the one I like. So please tell me in the comment why you enjoy painting with acrylic gouache. Meanwhile, you see me slowly getting used to this medium. I'm really rusty as you see me painting this first cat in the sketchbook. The paint itself is a little bit sticky. When it comes out, it's really like a foam, extremely soft. But when you go with the brush on top, you really need to dilute it in order to pick it up without having pieces of the paint itself on your brush. Color themselves turns out pretty bright in my opinion. And once you get the hang of it, it's gonna maybe give you also some satisfaction. Let's see in the next painting. New subject, new cat. This one is a very big round eyes, which is really funny to paint in my opinion. I'm gonna use this poppy red for the sofa or whatever it is sit on top. You see this tiny particle inside the paint. This comes from previous dried paint. It dried around the cap of the tube. When I open it, there is this little particles coming out. It might be normal for the ones that are used to paint with acrylic, but for me it's something new, of course, and I wanted to mention. With this second one I enjoy way more. It came out much easier to me. Also, I start playing a little bit with colors. I'm not using only the brown diluted with white as in the first subject, but I'm using this red I mentioned, some yellow as well, and the black one of course. I was considering to leave the cat completely white, but actually was too flat, and of course I didn't want to show the pencil strokes, so I'm using this pink one and to add some details on the fur of the cat, which I think came out pretty good. A little trick I discovered and I like to implement in all my gouache or acrylic gouache drawing specifically is to make a contour in the end that's gonna be pop up my drawing much more. And normally for this contour I enjoy using a brownish color, not black one, because it's gonna be too harsh in my opinion. Something I always forget to do is to put the darkest dark first. This is gonna fix your tonal value in the very beginning of the drawing and not gonna floating in a trust the process situation for most of your painting process. This is something I keep repeating myself, but I actually never do. I start with a basic layer of the main tone and then I add on top some more layers with different colors. I think this one came out as well, pretty well. I started with a much darker tonal value on the first color because I was a little bit more confident and I was not that much scared anymore. And in the end of the painting session, this is the leftovers in palettes. This is the 2-water pot. So I'm still in love with gouache, traditional one, much more than acrylic gouache. But I have to say, once you get the hang of it, it takes a little bit of time, honestly. You may enjoy this one as well. It's gonna be maybe not that quick for my style of painting compared to other mediums, but I will definitely try to use them more in the future. Tell me if you like acrylic gouache or standard gouache, which one is your favorite? And if you enjoy this painting process, hit a like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.